The things that you're looking for for mining and for AI compute are slightly different. For mining, you are looking for the cheapest, most efficient source of power, right? For AI compute, there are a couple of additional requirements. You need redundancy.
All right, welcome back inside our Proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Steve Gutterman. He is the CEO of Gryphon Digital Mining. And Steve, it's great to see you. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. It's nice to be on.
Good. I'm excited to have you here and learn a bit more about what the company's up to. You're new into the job as CEO. About a month ago, you took over from the company. So why don't we start there? Tell me a bit about yourself and just the reason why you really wanted to be at the helm of this company.
Yeah, thanks. My career has really been high growth companies, high growth industries. I was with E-Trade for a long time, was with the bank in private equity, cannabis, helped take a company public there. And so my whole career really has been punctuated with being involved with companies that are growing quickly in the right space. And so really focused on companies that have the right opportunity, the right people, and the right capital support. And that's what we have here.
Yeah. So tell me a bit about the company itself and what you do.
Gryphon Digital Mining is a NASDAQ listed company. Right now, we're about a $40 million market cap. We trade under the sign GRYP. And we really focus on two things. One, our core Bitcoin mining business. We have 8,500 machines currently in upstate New York, although we will be announcing over the rest of this quarter a new location for those. And we will continue to expand our Bitcoin mining business. It's obviously a great time to be in Bitcoin, long on Bitcoin and a Bitcoin miner. And then additionally, the second prong, which we'll be really pursuing aggressively over this quarter and subsequent quarters, is moving into AI compute.
Okay, so explain that to me a bit about AI compute. What does that mean?
I mean, fundamentally, here is our business. We look for low-cost power, right? Low-cost, efficient, redundant power. And then we put computers in a facility that has that, and then we ask the computer to perform a function. Traditionally, that function has been to mine for Bitcoin. But it is not so far afield to say that instead of asking the computer to mine for Bitcoin, we wanted to perform AI functions or what's known as HPC.
Mm-hmm. Now, talk about you mentioned the low cost power, which is obviously a key to this. Machines are a key as well in Bitcoin mining and all that. Can you sort of talk about the structure of the company and where you like to see maybe it head to in the rest of this year, maybe into next?
Yeah, I think that whether it's mining or AI compute, the key to success for us and for our cohort is locking down cheap, efficient power, right? The bigger, the better. And so, as you can imagine, we have been scouring the continent and the world for the best locations. And we're really focused on that.
Yeah, I would imagine that there's a number of those that you would look at around the world. There are places with very inexpensive power and able to do it. And the other thing, it helps on the green side of the world as well. So I would imagine there's a lot of places that you would have to look to find that particular and just look for the very right one that you want.
That's exactly right. And the things that you're looking for mining and for AI compute are slightly different. For mining, you are looking for the cheapest, most efficient source of power, right? For AI compute, there are a couple of additional requirements. You need redundancy. You need you need to make sure that wherever you are, you're going to be up 99.99999% of the time. You don't need that in mining, but you need that in AI compute. And then there is really realistically more of an emphasis, and long term there may be more of an emphasis on the sustainability aspect in AI, like you were talking about. So, and lastly, for AI compute, you need fiber connectivity to a degree that you really don't need for mining. So there are additional requirements for power in AI, And so as we've been looking, and really as anyone is looking, you got to be cognizant of those additional requirements.
Absolutely. And lastly, Steve, just I can sense in you in the way you answer the questions that you seem quite excited about the future of Gryphon
Yeah.
Digital Mining and where you see the company heading.
Yeah, I've been CEO for about a month. And in that month, we've really done an extraordinary amount of what I would call foundational work. Right? We've strengthened our board by adding people who have incredible depth and breadth of experience in capital raising and then also in mining. Importantly, we restructured the debt of the company. So we used to have about $18 million of debt that we had to pay in Bitcoin to a company called Anchorage. We restructured that so that Anchorage now is our largest shareholder. And Dan Gryphon, who's a member of the Anchorage team, is now a member of our board. So we've kind of fundamentally changed that relationship from lender to partner. We're very excited about that. We've revisited where we're going to be locating our machines. We've really aggressively started looking for power for both Bitcoin mining and for AI. And we've started to establish some relationships where we can acquire machines really cheaply and efficiently. And so I'm excited to be able to speak about all those over the coming months, now that we've really kind of cleared a lot of the bramble and laid down that foundation.
Absolutely. Sounds like it. Steve, thank you so much. Great to catch up with you and see what the company's up to. We look forward to our next conversation, okay?
Well, me too. Thank you so much.
All right, Steve Gutterman, the CEO of Gryphon Digital Mining.